This is part 2, episode 155. There was one messy yellow-haired decadent-looking man with 4 ears and droopy eyes. He gazed at the other 5. Sa Jin, Ni Nan and Luo Feng aren't too much of a threat. My true opponents are Yu Feng and Kuluo Fu. In the previous qualification battles, my move wasn't perfect, hence I didn't unleash it. This time, I will shock everybody. And rush into the primal region. Ji was filled with ambition, and his improvement speed was indeed shocking. Defeating the other 4 will be simple, only that wolf. Yu Feng, who was draped in a black robe, looked at Kuluo Fu. The medicine I specially made for him this time, as long as it works, I have a guarantee of making it into the primal region. Wolfman, Kuluo Fu floated silently in space. I'm currently in an impossible mission. I have to keep alert with part of my consciousness. The other part to participate here. Under normal circumstances, I can only use about 70% of my power. 70% is enough. The group all had their own thoughts. And the purple uniformed skinny man, who represented the virtual universe company, continued, the absolute beginning's last 18 will battle with the top 10 of the sky and land region. These 28 will battle for the 8 slots in the absolute beginning region. The losers will be kicked into the sky and land region. Luo Feng was shocked within. The chances of getting kicked out was simply too high. However, it was right. The primal region normally has 3 slots for universe level. The absolute beginning should have 30 universe levels. Any excess would naturally be kicked out. As long as they weren't strong enough, they would be kicked. Rong Jun may be in trouble this time. He looked at Rong Jun beside. Rong Jun, however, was smiling, filled with confidence. The qualification battles are just about to begin. The skinny man looked at the group of youths. The battles will take place in special locations. At that time, the virtual universe system will automatically send you over. Also, you can watch other battles through the screens. Get ready. He vanished right after he finished. The group of geniuses in mid-air then opened their screens. At this time, almost 38 of them simultaneously heard a ringing in their ears. Su. 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 They all were teleported out of Yuseong Mountain. Qualification battles. It's begun. Luo Feng, the absolute beginning qualification battles. Your first match is about to begin. Your opponent is Moshka. The sound he had in his ears had this content. Simultaneously, an arm bracelet screen appeared on his wrist. On it the battle details displayed. Luo Feng was already transported to the location where he would face the senior Moshka. 38 people, 19 battles began simultaneously. Yuseong Mountain Primal Region. Every Primal Region member's villa was 1,000 kilometers in area, larger than any territory on Earth. Mo Luo was dressed in long pants, standing in his vast grass field and practicing his attacks. Your Majesty is too crazy. He trains non-stop. Most of his training time is spent on his fist work. The beast fist's wonders don't pale in comparison to some Undying's techniques. The group of sector lord guards all discussed in hushed voices from a distance. Large amount of staff too were filled with respect and shock. They worshipped this Mo Luo. Mo Luo knew how to win people's hearts. At least amongst the over 10k personnel in his villa, they all respected and worshipped him. Howl. He roared almost like a wild dog, instantly becoming a beam of light and rushing 10 kilometers ahead, 2 claws tearing fiercely ahead, causing huge tears in the grass that stretched over 100 kilometers, almost like 2 canyons. Received mail, the absolute beginning qualification battles have begun. A voice resounded. Only then did Mo Luo stop. It ain't living if it ain't crazy enough. Mo Luo took a deep breath. From his beggar life, when he was young, death warrior training in the factions, and his competition among the elites of the virtual universe company, he had fought non-stop, finally becoming a core member of the company, and even after he still had to fight to rise and stay. From the last phase region to sky and land region, from there to the absolute beginning and finally to the primal region. This way. He rose from an orphan beggar to the top, becoming a pinnacle genius of the universe. Even an Undying is only my guard. Mo Luo gazed at the distant sector lord guards and the leading Undying. He smiled and nodded. Inside, however, he roared, why, it's because I fight for it. Using any means, as long as I win, that is the best way for success. The way for an absolute warrior to survive. It ain't living if it ain't crazy enough. Mo Luo lifted his finger and tapped gently. A screen floated there. Watch Luo Feng's battle. Mo Luo ordered. Primal region, absolute beginning region, sky and land region, last phase region, the battles all took place at different times. As the lesser the number of people, the less time and other preparation it took. Hence the last phase region with the most number of members, just the members alone was about 10,000. The sky and land had over 300. Absolute beginning had over 30. Primal region only had 5. Hence, naturally the last phase had the most details to prepare and was the earliest to begin. And the primal region, with only 5 members, would be the last. The broadcast of the battles were open to any core member. Naturally the Undyings, with high authority, could all watch too. I don't believe that Luo Feng is still alive. Mo Luo stared at the screen. I personally kicked him down into that terrifying abyss. According to the data I've collected, anyone who falls into the abyss won't be able to survive. Mo Luo was a senior, hence his interaction with others made his knowledge and experience of the impossible missions more than the newbies. Also, he was a primal region member with high authority. He could search for more information online. Luo Feng simply relied on only searching. His information definitely couldn't compare to Mo Luo's. He's definitely dead. There's actually a rumor in the absolute beginning region that is alive. Mo Luo's eyes were cold, as Luo Feng had sent out that mail to his friends and gone to visit Wuka and the others. However, as he was still receiving the inheritance, his time was critical, hence he only showed himself for a brief moment before returning to the palace. And only Wuka, Rong-jun and the others had seen him. The other seniors, those that attended the classes, hadn't seen him since then, hence the news of him being alive wasn't confirmed publicly. Of course, the gathering for the battles earlier was considered Luo Feng's first public appearance. However, this gathering, Mo Luo didn't personally witness. If he's alive, then I'll be able to watch the broadcast. If he's dead, there wouldn't be his battle at all. Naturally I won't be able to see it. Mo Luo stared at the screen. Rumors are just rumors. I kicked him into the abyss personally. I can definitely confirm his death. A prompt appeared on the screen. Luo Feng's battle with Moshka is currently going on, connecting to broadcast. The information in the prompt was very clear. Mo Luo was stunned. He stared at the prompt for a while before frowning, saying softly, "He's not dead. He's actually not dead. How can he be alive after falling into that abyss?" Rumble. Luo Feng felt the space around him warp, and later he landed in a desolate surface of a planet. The ground was a dark red. Searing temperatures caused his vision to slightly warp. Also the extreme gravity made him slightly tremble. The terrifying magnetic field made him uncomfortable. What place is this? Luo Feng was shocked. He looked down at the screen on his wrist. On it the detailed information was already translated into Earth language. Battle, absolute beginning death qualification battles, universe level. Opponents, Luo Feng, 0 wins 0 loss, against Moshka, 0 wins 0 loss. Location, White Dwarf Star, diameter 3,200 kilometers, surface gravity 361,000,000 G, temperature 21,000 degrees Celsius. White Dwarf Star. Luo Feng smiled. No wonder the gravity is so shocking. White Dwarf Star was a forbidden region to the weaker humans. Universe level 9. It normally took countless planets to produce one universe level. One universe level 9 warrior had a punch that could destroy a large continent of Earth. If he attacked the Pacific Ocean, he could create a tsunami that could engulf the entire planet. Flying speed in space could reach up to 1,500 kilometers per second. A universe level 9 was already enough to rule a galaxy. Some low-level civilizations' strongest was probably at most only a universe level 9. 300 million times the gravity of Earth, over 20k degrees in temperature. White Dwarf Star's terrifying magnetic field was indeed nothing much to a universe level 9. Of course, if it were neutron star, a universe level 9 would instantly crumble. However, White Dwarf Star was something they could easily withstand. Rumble. The land shook. Luo Feng looked over. Their silhouette was running fast, every step shaking the ground, causing the solid surface to crack with every stomp. In an instant he stopped before Luo Feng. He stared at him filled with fighting spirit. This person was about 2.2 meter, skinny, bald, without a single hair on his body. Dressed in silver armor with a black belt, black boots and a wrist screen, he carried a strange-shaped blade on his back, a proper universe soldier get-up. The universe soldiers that went to battles outside the star fields would dress this way. He stared hard at Luo Feng without blinking, as if he was looking at a huge enemy. His voice was shrill as it resounded, "You are Luo Feng. Moshka had purple eyes, a high nose bridge, no eyebrows, his lips were very thin and his gaze was like a venomous snake, cold. Moshka. Luo Feng raised both hands above his chest. Other than his head, the rest of his body was covered in armor. Stop wasting time. Crazy. Moshka was riled by Luo Feng's words until his face was flushed red. In a flash, he brandished his blade and with a clang, he was ready. Newbie, I'll let you know that even the normal seniors aren't something you can look down on. Moshka roared, and with a fierce stomp, the incredibly solid ground was smashed into pieces. His mini galaxy within his body fiercely exploded, causing him to rush over in a terrifying speed even on this white dwarf star that had 300 million times the gravity of Earth. A streamlined spirit weapon appeared below Luo Feng's feet, Dark Cloud Shuttle. Standing on it and floating in mid-air, he gazed at the raging Moshka rushing over. Humph! The instant Moshka drew close to Luo Feng, he instantly stomped hard on the ground, using the force to fly up and rush towards him, his right arm wielding the blade. Die! Moshka's purple eyes gleamed. As he got close, he swung his blade. Rumble! In the instant he waved his blade, it was almost like a volcano erupting, tearing forward with terrifying destroying intent towards Luo Feng. And as it slashed, the surrounding temperature soared to a shocking level. The flash of the blade slashed past Luo Feng's body, the slash followed forward onto the ground ahead. The slash immediately left a great canyon in the ground. Countless tons of the surface ground was slashed into rubble, flying in all directions. The strong gravity pulled everything back down. Dark red liquid even poured out of the canyons, burning and hot. Moshka, who was floating in mid-air after slashing, looked, his expression changed. Your blade work is not bad, however it's a pity your speed is too slow. A voice resounded. Moshka turned quickly. In the distance, Luo Feng stood on his dark cloud shuttle and looked calmly at Moshka. Controlling a spirit weapon was greatly linked to one's spirit energy strength. Similarly, in terms of law comprehension, a universe level and a domain lord level, their speed using the spirit weapon definitely had a huge difference. Even though Luo Feng only used 90% of his consciousness to enter the virtual universe, his spirit energy amplitude was after all over 1,900, much more than the 70 to 80 from before the Inheritance Palace. It had risen over 20 times. Even at 90%, it was still over 20 times. This made his usage of the Dark Cloud Shuttle, under extreme circumstances, much better than before. Your blade work is not bad. Seeing that move of yours has made this worth it. Luo Feng stood on the Dark Cloud Shuttle and said. Simultaneously, the dark golden long rod on his back shot out countless gold lights. They swiftly gathered and finally formed an ancient long blade. It floated in mid-air, causing the space about to shake. Nanshan Armaments 5th level, Space Slicer. Use the 6th level. On the distant ground, Moshka roared with rage. Luo Feng, are you shaming me? The group of seniors all knew Luo Feng could already use the 6th level, Blade World. The 5th is enough. Luo Feng said in mid-air. The dark golden blade instantly tore through the 100 meter in distance. As it flew, the surrounding space all came under its pressure. So powerful one could visibly see the warp in space. It instantly reached before Moshka. Under the pressure of the space roared while struggling. Luo Feng. Use the 6th level. Simultaneously, he used all his strength to wave his volcano-like blade. The dark golden blade was simply too fast, and with the space being pressured, it made the strength of Moshka's blade diminish further. The dark golden blade was incredibly piercing straight through Moshka's armor through his body. Explode. Luo Feng muttered softly in the distance. The dark golden blade that pierced into Moshka's body automatically dispersed within, becoming countless little golden blades that decimated his body. With a rumble, countless blades shot out of his body, and the genetic armor that was Moshka's energy had a great loss in defensive ability. Countless gold lights shot out from his body. Fresh blood spurted out too. With the terrifying gravity of white dwarf star, it all quickly landed on the ground. A universe level 9 warrior's blood, through many times of evolution, had undergone a shocking change. Even with the powerful gravity here, it still couldn't make the blood droplets crumble. Moshka's body fell heavily on the ground. Similar Space Slicer, different people unleashing it will have different power. Luo Feng landed beside Moshka's body and looked at the shredded body, his eyes clam. He said quietly, the current me is much stronger than before. This Space Slicer is much stronger than before too. He looked at his wrist screen. On it his name had the words, 1 win 0 loss, points 1. As time passed, many battles went on. The internal qualification battles of the virtual universe was actually a distribution of resources for the company. Everybody wished to make it into the primal region, because the resources a primal region was given was very shocking. Just the universe level, these members had undying teachers that taught according to how they wanted. If they wished, they could change their teachers anytime. The teachers were normally official level 2. And they could take more missions too. Luo Feng was very clear. Every training mission had a secret hidden within them. Like Blood River World's Beast God's Secret, or Demon Mountain's Inheritance Palace. During the Domain Lord level, Primal Region members would get even higher authority and status. Extremely high position meant shocking authority. It allowed them to have great power from the Virtual Universe Company, with many benefits. During Sector Lord level, the benefits get even more shocking. The cost the Virtual Universe Company puts into nurturing every Sector Lord was comparable even to an Emperor level Undying. Universe level, Domain Lord, Sector Lord. The further back, the more the resources the Virtual Universe Company would pour into the genius. A Sector Lord's lifespan was very long, with tens of millions of years. Within 10 million years they could organize 10,000 star level genius level competitions, and 1000 universe level genius level competition. And many Sector Lords only get stronger later, like the Light Sector Lord Luo. A few other strong Sector Lords probably only bloomed when they reached Domain Lord or Sector Lord level. Long lifespan. With 1008 universe countries in the universe and the Virtual Universe Company absorbing from all of them, why are there only a total of 100 Sector Lords in the Primal region? Expensive. Even the Virtual Universe Company couldn't madly go nurture everybody. One was for glory and honor. Two was because as one traveled further down the road, everybody would wish to enter the Primal region. The benefits in the Primal region would constantly increase. Luo Feng sat in his study within the absolute beginning villa. A screen floated before him. On it broadcasted the chemist Yu Feng's battle. Universe level. The status and resources of the Primal region members in universe level is already plenty. Domain Lord level Primal region members would become governors of territories. I heard that when these members go out as governors, they have shocking amounts of authority. That means wealth, opportunities, power. Sector Lord Primal region members' benefits are even more shocking. Luo Feng muttered to himself. The greater the resources, the higher the difficulty. A Sector Lord entering the Primal region was hundreds to thousands of times harder than an universe level. Hence, I have to lead from the beginning. With a head start, I'll lead all the way. Luo Feng looked at the screen, the Battle of Yu Feng. He couldn't help but frown. This Yu Feng is actually a spirit reader, chemist. Those opponents have no resistance against him at all. On the screen, the fighter wielded two axes. He wanted to wave them to battle, but he lost control of his muscles as they twitched. If a fighter was unleashing his move and his muscles twitched, naturally there was no way to fully unleash it. His head was cut off. The chemist belongs to a very specialized path, and a very hard setup to actually make progress in. Luo Feng searched on information about chemists, looking at Yu Feng's every battle. Kuluo Fu roared, his expression struggled, he immediately flew through the skies, his right hand lifted high like a claw, fiercely slashing down. Tearing through. A visible huge golden claw immediately appeared in the land and skies, a claw formed from pure energy and origin laws. The entire space seemed to be torn apart. Sajin, one of the top 5 seniors, roared, and even though he fought hard against it, he was torn apart completely. Almost like a laser blade cutting right through. Rumble. The golden claw seemed to land heading towards the developed city. It was instantly torn right through, leaving behind a huge canyon. The entire continent seemed to have been sliced, leaving behind deep canyons. Looking at this battle, Luo Feng's expression was heavy. This was the first battle between two of the top 6, including Luo Feng. He had seen Kuluo Fu's battles before. He had won instantly without showing his true strength. And this time, he actually used one of his moves. Yet it was so powerful and intrepid. A claw that tore through space. Tearing through Sajin, through the continent. This one claw, in terms of law comprehension, it exceeds my gold and space comprehension. His expression was heavy, even compared to my golden horned beast's tearing sky claw. It may be much weaker. But its law comprehension has already exceeded mine, and the usage was perfect. The energy was condensed, it tore through the continent without creating a huge explosion, powerful. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain 9-star Bay, in a quiet wooden pavilion, the black-haired man Hong was dressed completely in black. he was there with the white-robed bald Thunder God. The two sat in the chair drinking some of the rare teas of Pinghai Company and chatting. Big brother. I haven't seen you in a long time. I haven't seen third brother too. Thunder God exclaimed. What difference does it make? As long as we keep each other in our hearts, what does the distance matter? Hong gently sniffed the tea in his hands. Good tea. In terms of enjoyment, the virtual universe pales in comparison to reality. Thunder God looked speechless at Hong. Big brother. Ha ha. Hong put down his cup and smiled at Thunder God. Under my teacher's instructions, I've been training these few years, hence I don't want to be distracted by the virtual universe. Ah, the letter you sent to me earlier said that third brother is in the qualification battles within the absolute beginning region. It's already ended, just ended today actually. Thunder God looked at Hong, hence third brother should have time today. I've already arranged for both of you to come. The three brothers should have a good meeting. Among the three brothers. Even though Thunder God was exploring the universe too, it was mostly within the Milky Way, he stayed on Earth. Hong however followed his teacher Luo, the Time Sector Lord who didn't have much of his lifespan left, wandering the universe. As for Luo Feng, he was being nurtured as the pinnacle of geniuses within the virtual universe company. Ended. Hong's eyes gleamed, he smiled. My teacher said that those able to be accepted into the virtual universe company's absolute beginning region are all pinnacle geniuses, and third brother hasn't been in there for too long, he would be disadvantaged. How's the results? There are 38 in the absolute beginning battles. The top 3 will have the right to challenge the primal region. Thunder God revealed a smile. Third brother made it to the top 3. Ah? Hong nodded. How's the result? Hong asked. According to my conversation with him earlier, it should be 36 wins, 1 loss and 0 draws. He ranked second. Thunder God said. Second. Hong revealed a smile. He complimented. Very impressive indeed. You should know, I'm now a part of the Huge Axe Dojo. Thunder God nodded. Hong's teacher, the Time Sector Lord, was one with the Huge Axe Dojo Domain Lord Medal. Hence Luo was accepted much earlier into the dojo. Of course, now he didn't have much of his lifespan left. Hence his position in the dojo wasn't too high. However, to get them to nurture his disciple well wasn't a problem. Hong was being nurtured by the Huge Axe Dojo. Of course, as it hadn't been long, he still hasn't been absorbed into the core. Virtual Universe Company is another one of the 5 great leviathans of humanity along with my Huge Axe Dojo. Hong smiled, and every genius battle, only the top 1,000 of the trillions of geniuses from the 1,008 universe countries would get accepted into the core. Hence getting into the core is extremely hard. Even right now I don't have the ability to get into the core of the Huge Axe Dojo. Big brother, you can definitely get in. Thunder God said. Hong didn't care and smiled. There's level differences even within the core. The absolute beginning region third brother is considered the innermost core of the virtual universe company. To be able to get in there, those are all the pinnacle of geniuses of humanity. Haha. Honestly speaking, our gap with third brother is getting bigger and bigger. Thunder God twitched his lips. Hong however smiled. Even though they were both considered geniuses, the current stage Luo Feng was on was where the pinnacle of geniuses stood on. Why are you twitching? Hong looked at Thunder God. As long as we remain grounded and keep improving. Even if we are currently lagging behind, there will come a day we too will stand at the pinnacle. Big brother, you can chase up to third brother. I have confidence in you. However, for myself, he depends on luck. Thunder God laughed. Third brother is here. Hong looked at the distant entrance of the courtyard. At the exquisite entrance of the courtyard, dressed in simple wear, sporting short black hair, Luo Feng walked over and smiled. With a flash, he arrived at the pavilion 100 m away from the entrance and sat at the only empty seat, smiling as he shouted, Big and second brother, it's been a while. I heard big brother you've joined the Huge Axe Dojo. My teacher gave me a referral. Hong nodded. He has some connections within the dojo, it made it easier for me. The Huge Axe Dojo is not bad. Luo Feng complimented. The Huge Axe Dojo, according to what Luo Feng knew, belonged to one of the 2 stronger leviathans of the 5, next to the Virtual Universe Company. The other Universe Mercenary Alliance, Universe First Bank and Universe Galaxy Bank was somewhat weaker in power. From the looks of it, your mood is not bad. Hong smiled at Luo Feng. He made it into the top 3. Thunder God teased. Luo Feng could only smile helplessly. Right, he made it into the top 3. Through the inheritance palace in Demon Mountain, his power had grown at an absurd rate. He had full guarantee of the absolute beginning region battles. The battles also went exactly as he had expected. He won the 1st of December matches. It was simple and easy, he didn't have to use much of his strength to win. However, the seniors had all discussed that since he had passed the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge early on, winning them was normal, but he would be in trouble the moment he met the 5 strongest. In his 13th match, Luo Feng finally met one of them. The first was Wolfman Kuluo Fu. The strongest Kuluo Fu. Kuluo Fu. Luo Feng muttered within. Kuluo Fu was the first of the 5 strongest Luo Feng encountered in the battles. This match had attracted a lot of attention. And Luo Feng was extremely prudent and cautious. The location of that battle was in the air above an ocean. The two said a couple of words before clashing immediately. Once they began, it was vicious. Luo Feng first used his consciousness pressure and relied on the Nan Shan armament, using his strongest move. Using power to pressure him. Under the consciousness pressure, Kuluo Fu was indeed affected a little, however it made him go into a frenzy. The frenzied Kuluo Fu was extremely fast, especially his instantaneous acceleration. Even Luo Feng, on his dark cloud shuttle, had difficulty keeping up. In just 3 moves. The first claw blocked Luo Feng's Blade World attack. The second injured Luo Feng. The third killed him immediately. Clean and simple. No resistance. Stunned. The loss made Luo Feng completely stunned, as he had defeated Sajin before, and acquired the Demon Note inheritance after. This made him extremely confident in himself, but who would have thought the strongest of the 5, Kuluo Fu, could end the battle so fast. He lost too badly. As he felt bad about his loss, the group of seniors were all cheering away. They thought that Luo Feng's strength was just that weak. Even though he defeated Sajin back then, they thought that Sajin was probably just overconfident before. Now that he met Kuluo Fu, wasn't everything revealed? The seniors all thought that Luo Feng would first lose to Kuluo Fu and subsequently to the other 4. 16th match, Luo Feng against Sajin. The moment the Nan Shan armament was unleashed, with his power to control the Nan Shan armament, he completely suppressed Sajin. This match made his confidence grow by quite a bit. It wasn't that his difference from the top 5 was that huge, it was only that Kuluo Fu was absurd. And this match stunned all of the seniors too. Sajin lost really badly, he was disadvantaged from start to end. 20th match, Luo Feng against Ni Nan. Ni Nan was a very sinister person. It was a pity his speed couldn't match up to Luo Feng's. When a fighter's instantaneous acceleration cannot catch up to a spirit reader, then he would only become a target. He lost without a chance at all. 28th match, Luo Feng against Chemist Yu Feng. Luo Feng was very worried about this match, because according to the footage he had seen, Yu Feng's ability was simply too sick, and the peculiar drugs he used was undeniably powerful and hard to defend against, being extremely cautious. The moment the battle began, Luo Feng created a huge distance from him and unleashed his Blade World, using the world energy to pressure the opponent and kill him. However, unknowingly he was still attacked by a special drug on his soul. Luckily his willpower was incredibly solid, he withstood it without any reaction, thinking of ways to kill his opponent. Winning through the dangers. When he won, Luo Feng received a mail from Yu Feng, "Newbie. I didn't expect you to be able to withstand my caste number 6 drug. However, next time you won't be so lucky." This victory completely stunned the group of universe-level seniors in the absolute beginning region. Wolfman Kuluo Fu, Chemist Yu Feng, these two were the strongest amongst the seniors. For Luo Feng to be able to defeat Yu Feng, it proved his strength. 35th match, Luo Feng against Ge. Ge's ultimate move, Luo Feng had seen it much earlier in his Ge's match against Kuluo Fu, hence he was prepared. He didn't give Ge the chance to get close at all, using the Nan Shan armament to kill him. A total of 37 matches. Luo Feng won 36 and lost 1, 0 draws. Kuluo Fu had 37 wins. Chemist Yu Feng had 35 wins, 2 losses, 0 draws. According to the points, Luo Feng and the other 2 were naturally the highest. As such, the chance to challenge the primal region was given to the 3 of them. The 3 of would now have the right to enter the primal region battles. Kuluo Fu. Luo Feng recalled the many battles from 3 days ago. Finally, that battle made him shudder. His strength far overpowers the rest of the 5 strongest. My Nan Shan armament already used that much power, and he blocked it easily. Ha ha, still thinking about the battle before. Thunder God laughed under the pavilion. Only an addict will get high achievements. Hong smiled. Only then did Luo Feng awake from the memories. Part 2 end here.